Well, let's
What have I done?
welcome.
I see them pointing, talking. What have I done?
That means you're on.
Oh, no. Can we do this? We're live, pal.
We're live, pal.
We're live, pal. All right, let's do it.
Welcome to Raw Recap, John Cena.
Here we are. Yeah.
What an amazing thing this is for us. I can't tell you how much I appreciate you. We are in the back rooms of Madison Square Garden.
Freezing, right?
Yes,
It's cold.
It's quite cold.
Did you wear your denim for John Cena?
Well, now you pointed it out.
Yeah,
I mean,
you absolutely
this-
did.
this
Conscious
whole
choice.
thing-
Appreciate you.
That is amazing. Well, John, I mean, this building must mean so much to you. This show must mean so much to you. I mean, we are, recording this 4 hours before the show goes on the air.
Yeah.
Are you processing yet that you're about to wrestle in Madison Square Garden?
Did you give them the eat asses? We just talked about this. Stephanie McMahon's over there in the clouds somewhere. We just had a off-camera talk about all this. So what I'm hearing from that is the building is very important.
Right.
The show is very important.
Right.
So a lot of times I like to lens out. I think the significance of this building should never be lost on sports entertainment. I know that there are events that are bigger and bolder and can fit more people. But I believe we can learn a lot from history. And I think that every person in WWE should understand the history of this place. And that way, when they're awarded the opportunity to stand on the canvas, this building shouldn't just mean something to me. And over the years, I've seen the importance kind of erode away, and I think it's got a resurgence now. And I'm very. That makes me feel good, because this is a place where if you are allowed to perform here, you are a professional.
You're a lot of times when I hear you talking about stuff like this, it's from that bigger picture perspective. And when we've spoken before, I think that's the perspective that you keep most of the time. But when you're doing this retirement tour, because when I think of you associated with Madison Square Garden, I think about the Royal Rumble, I think about the Survivor Series tagging with The Rock, I think about all these things that you did in Madison Square Garden, and I wonder if you've gotten to the point in this retirement tour where you are being self-reflective, thinking about your moments in these buildings, thinking about the fact that you, as the kid who grew up as a wrestling fan, who got to do this thing at the highest level and now embraces the title of greatest of all time, that's what's being celebrated is what you've done.
So thank you for the kind words. If you're asking if I'm in a reflective state, I'm ready to have a great show, and I don't want to be in any other position, because I don't want to get. I want to keep my feet on the ground. I don't want to get lost in my own sauce. I want to be able to. There's 16,000 people that are going to be here tonight. I want to make sure they're happy, and if I'm the reason they showed up, boy, if I'm in a mind state other than that, we could wind up with them feeling not so happy. So I'll have plenty of time. I already told Steph we'll talk later on. We'll probably do another Raw recap, jortsless.
Unfortunately for us, but
Unfortunately,
I love the jorts.
thanks, man. I love them too.
So I was actually having this conversation on one of my shows about
love
your
the
jorts.
transition because I get to duck the question. Love it. Yes, please.
About the jorts, okay? And I came to this realization today that I don't think in the history of wrestling, especially when you started wearing those jorts, that people would realize the significance of them. But I started, the wheel started spinning in my head, and I said, when The Undertaker retired, he said, where I draw the line is I won't have the dead man gear anymore. You won't see me in the dead man gear anymore. And that gear is so iconic to wrestling fans, to wrestling in general. I'll come out on the motorcycle. I'll be the American badass, but I won't wear the dead man gear. And I just had this aha thing that I feel like you may end up in the same position, which in turn then goes to this thing that for a period in your career might have been mocked by some fans. The John Cena jorts, to me, have reached the significance of the Undertaker's dead man gear.
So I appreciate that. A nugget that I appreciate out of that train of thought is the jorts were mocked. I think that's a my takeaway on that is it's okay to be authentic. They are me, and I'm able to be confident enough in myself to weather the storm of criticism, and in many cases harassment and ridicule. As we reflect, or as a lot of people are reflecting on these moments, people are bringing up moments that meant a lot of positive stuff for me. I have been a very polarizing character in the WWE, and that's led to a lot of people's moments. Some of those marquee matches and some of those moments have been very, very polarizing. To be able to wear a uniform that I felt comfortable in, a character I felt comfortable in, a lot of that thanks to Steph over there, and not waver when other people wanted to be pleased, not waver from what was in my heart, because my first run, my first try, I tried to please everyone else, and it was inauthentic. And when I got a chance to be a character, the stuff where I wanted to evolve the character, I still maintained my authenticity. And I think that's important for any long-standing success in here. You do good work, you're coachable, reliable, and you're invested. And I think the investment is passion. The passion can reflect authenticity. The jorts now are in whatever perspective they're in, because I just wouldn't give up on wearing them. I could take their best shot, their biggest ridicule, and still put forth great effort, be reliable, and do good work while wearing cut-off jeans.
Now, there's one place where you're not polarizing whatsoever, and that's Boston, Massachusetts, where you
That's
won.
not true. It's not true. Again, we can learn a lot from history. I've had a lot of tough nights in Boston, Massachusetts. If you want to be more specific, we can say, with the data that we have, the final the final show in Boston, the final show in the TD Garden, where I was able to defeat Dom Mysterio for the Intercontinental title, they were happy to see me that night. But yes, Boston has been a very polarizing crowd for me over the years, and it's my own hometown, and that's them being their authentic self. It's a tough room. The TD Garden's a tough room to work.
But you weren't polarizing whatsoever last week when you became the Intercontinental Champion for the first time in your career. I know
How about that? How about that accolade right at the end?
Still making history.
Everybody's
down
talking
to
about
the
that
final days.
IC run Stone Cold had at the end.
At the very end,
DJ carrying the IC run late in his career. Taker with that late IC run. It's just one of the. How about that, right? Yeah. Here we are. Look at it. There it is.
You said it was going to be a year of stuff that nobody's ever done before. Nobody has ever won the IC
Just
title on their way out.
Just on that way out, But no, that's what an awesome opportunity. And I just came from Liverpool. Did 2 days there at a convention over the weekend, and so many people. Again, incredibly grateful for the ability to get in there with Dom Mysterio, who I respect and admire. He reminds me a lot of me, and he reminds me a lot of the mistakes I made. Like, I can see all of the mistakes that are about to happen with him, and I want to shake him and be like, you're going to do this, but I want him to learn for himself. But he is authentic, he's reliable, he works hard, and he's passionate about the business. He'll figure the rest out. But what a chance, in Boston to have a chance at a championship match. And because it's not what Stone Cold would do. Yeah. I'd like that match. It can be done your own way. There's no right way to be a success in this business. It's just take opportunities as they come. And I got a cool opportunity to do something special. And man, it was a special moment. So thank you for bringing that up.
It felt like it wasn't lost on you from the moment you walked in. Has there been any part on this run? Because sometimes you see that look in your eyes where it appears to me that the realization of, well, that was it. That was the last time in Boston, kind of sets in. Like, you let the crowd react. You get filled with that, and you realize that was it. Especially as you've been having some of the best matches in your career against Cody Rhodes, against AJ Styles, against Logan Paul, against Sami. Like, these matches have been great to the point where some of us fans are going, I thought he said he couldn't go anymore. I'm pretty sure he can still go. Has there been any thought, when you work at the level that you've been working at and you get the reactions now that you're finally getting, where you go, man, I wish I wasn't leaving in December?
No.
Really?
Yeah. And I think the thing that's helping me push myself across the finish line is there is no tomorrow. So I've always given everything I have. What I love again, you're saying a lot of stuff. So what I love is like, hey man, as a fan, I think you're having the best matches of your career right now. I have heard that through many phases of my career. I got to switch to the hip hop John Cena, and then was put in a lot of matches to quote unquote toughen myself up. I heard that then. And then the era of Super Cena happened, and then I got put with opponents who were supposed to be bad guys, but they loved them. The Punks giving Bryan Danielson a shot, Edge. Hey, you're having some of the best matches of your career right now. Fast forward to the United States Open Challenge. Hey man, you're having some of the best matches of your career right now. And then for you to be able to say that now means a lot, because if, you know, you can pontificate of like, you should do X, Y, and Z. But I've always wanted to stay curious, and I've always wanted to leave the door open for a path of growth. You can never master sports entertainment. You can never master WWE. There's always something to learn. And me, with all this time under tension, I'm still learning and I'm still growing and I'm still trying to perfect my craft. And my body is beat up. It takes me a while to warm up for these matches, and it takes me a while to cool down. And I want to leave giving the audience that shows up being like, but you're doing the best work of your career. I will say that's helping push me across the goal line. That's keeping my mind fresh. I'm also working with talent that I've worked with before, that I've had new opponents to work with, so they're bringing new ideas. I'm working with new talent. It's honestly, it's great in that regard, that there is that curiosity to still learn. I don't think that'll ever be extinguished, but I do have to listen to my health. And there's not one piece that is like, hey, it should go past December 13th. I know there's a lot of speculation out of, there was at one point of like, oh, they're just going to run them through to WrestleMania because that's the end of everyone's story. That's just the end of everyone's story because that's the way everybody did it before me. I told everybody 15 months ago that I was going to do this. I told them I was going to do a year, and I'm going to do a year. And after this, it's done. Like, and I don't say that as a bad thing. I say that as a collective, that I've been allowed to do this for 23 years at a very high output. And to hear you're having some of the best matches of your career in the 4th generation of installments that I've heard that, it validates that I'm not the only one who's exhausted every time I come through the curtain. I think everybody feels emotionally like, man, he gave us all he had. And I think, or at least I hope, after the 13th of December, people understand that that's all I'm trying to do, is just give it everything I got.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of legends in the business, their careers, their in-ring careers, end for a variety of different reasons. And not everybody gets to go out on their own terms. You set out 15 months ago to go on this retirement tour, and you're going to get to go out on your terms. How important is that to you?
So I don't want to, that's a perspective. I'm not going out on my own terms. If I could do this in infinity, I would do it. This is where I feel the most fluent. This is where I feel safe. This is where I feel at home. Yes, the audience has let me into their living room every week for 23 years, but they've also let me into their lives. And by going across the world and doing all these conventions and meeting all these fans, one fan at a time, hearing the stories of how me playing dress up and living my imagination and living my taking opportunities and trying to make it the best I can has affected their life. I want to do this for infinity, but I can't. So I want to make it specific, and I'm not going out on my own terms. I made a promise to the fan base when I started that when I got to step slower, I got to walk away. And the sad thing is, us as fans see that, like, but you got so much left. Yeah, I could probably squeeze out more matches, but at what cost? I do harm to myself. I do harm to the product. And you as a fan who's allowed me the opportunity for over 2 decades to spend time with you, you leave feeling bad or sad. No, I want everyone to be happy. And moreover, I want to take the tail end of this thing. And I'm so glad about the tournament and about Saturday night's main event, and get everybody to look at the future of the business. Because I believe that's whatever energy was given to me, the veterans and old timers gave me their energy and equity by teaching me and certainly doing honors. And forever the tradition has been, oh, your last match, you kind of go out on your back and you do the honors and that's it. No, I think we can do more. I think we can take the eyes that care about showing up to our show and expose them to the future and what's next. And I love the Time Is Now tournament, that we have some way to earn the chance to to qualify as my last opponent, and I really want to take my hats off to Triple H. I called him up. I said, I got an idea. We got to do 2 hours for the tribute show, and if you do a whole John Cena tribute, 2 things are going to happen. You're either going to do too much or too little. You're never going to please everybody. I would like to propose that we have big-name WWE superstars fight in exhibition matches versus the brightest in NXT. So that way we have a sold-out building. Hopefully the world's watching on Saturday night's main event. I get to wrestle one final time, but in doing that, everyone also gets to look at what to look forward to. And I think that's the most important thing. We're just, yes, that's my last match, but it's collectively, we're all just kind of closing a chapter of an era in sports entertainment. And I want people to be able to look forward to what's next.
You also got Zack Ryder back on TV, which is a big
big deal. Hey,
it's a big deal.
People are coming out of the woodwork for the tournaments. I was very, very glad to see Zack Ryder come back. Mm-hmm. Matt is a personal friend of mine. I can speak candidly like that, and I've seen his mind grow. You want to talk about always being curious and a quest for growth. The Zack Ryder I knew from a long time ago has accrued so much sports entertainment wisdom. And it's amazing when we have interactions. He'll tell me about his journey and be like, this is what you were trying to talk about before, and I wasn't ready to understand it. And I like rooting for people who are humble enough to admit when they're wrong and always want to grow and are doing things for the greater good of the business. Matt's certainly one of those guys. And his wife Chelsea is certainly one of those folks who takes an opportunity and makes the absolute best out of it. And I was really happy to see Zack Ryder back.
Well, John, I can't tell you how much we appreciate you making some time for us. I remember in 2005 watching you show up on the highlight reel with Chris Jericho and appear on Monday Night Raw for the very first time.
Spirit of St. Louis jersey, man.
I know.
As a surprise.
It was a big one, too. Jersey, I mean.
Yes, it was.
It was a very large jersey.
Was. Yes, it was the actual jersey that Moses Malone wore.
But to be but to be here and to be a very small part of what is so special for you, for wrestling history, it's my pleasure, it's our pleasure, and I just appreciate you making the time to do this, man. Thank you.
Thanks for the kind words. No part is small, and every part is needed. We had the director of our show came to thank me. I was like, man, I'm never going to have a moment. You're going to be too busy. I'm like, you always have a moment. We can't do it without you. And he's like, no, the fans are here for you. Yeah, but without you, we don't have a TV show. You guys allow our consumers to engage after the final bell is rung, after the lights go out. And that engagement helps people get excited about our product, which hopefully leads people into the arena, which makes more stars and keeps the business going. There is no small part. If everybody approaches it with, I'm living my dream and I get to do something cool and be part of something special, I'm grateful for everybody in front of him being behind the camera and in the arenas. Like, without them, watch those pandemic shows, man. we fought on, but like we're a lot better with the audience.
Yeah.
And I guess my point is there are no small pieces. We're all doing this together.
That's why he hugged me at Fanatics Fest. Now I know why.
Man, that was awesome. You guys are such good sports, man. Thank you so much for that. I had already done an entrance. They wanted me to do another one. And
Wait, you're thanking him for that? Because he hasn't stopped talking about it.
Made my life.
I think
it made my life too.
Look at that.
Yes. I was just thinking like, man, for some reason my life feels incomplete. I'm going to dive on Sam. I'm good.
Thank you so much, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I need this.